Hi, my name is Kim Perillo, and I'm going to be covering how to get started with distance learning with Smart Learning Suite Online. So let's go ahead and jump right into what Smart Learning Suite is, first of all. So I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen so you can see it a little bit bigger. So Smart Learning Suite is our software package at Smart that includes the desktop version called Smart Notebook. But what we're going to focus on today is the online version called Smart Learning Suite Online. Now, it's really nice because it integrates nicely with whatever ecosystem you're currently using. And today we're going to focus on the Microsoft ecosystem. However, does not mean that Google users could not use it this way. But if you have already watched our other videos on how to use the G Suite app for SLSO, then you probably already know about that. So now we're going to look at how Microsoft users will be able to utilize Smart Learning Suite Online. And just as an FYI, in August of 2020, so that's just about 1 month away, we will have Microsoft Teams integration coming out. So I'll record a new video once that happens. So for this part one of the video, what I'm going to focus in on is the student-paced assignment within Smart Learning Suite Online. And so what that means is, if you would like to consider asynchronous learning and share lessons out for your students to go through at their own pace at whatever time and location that they're logged in, they would be able to do so using Smart Learning Suite Online. So we're going to do that first by going to suite.smarttech.com. And I'm going to go there here shortly after I explain a couple things. And you're going to sign in. If you've never done this before, you're going to sign in with your Google or Microsoft credentials. So again, like I said, either platform could definitely use it this way, but just keep in mind that Google has an app for this, so you could use it directly through that app or through your Google Drive once that's connected. But today we're going to focus in on using it directly through the website suite.smarttech.com. Okay. So once you go there, you're going to be on your home screen, and then what you're going to be able to do is utilize all of these resources here in order to either create content or use existing content and import that content and then utilize some of these other features with it. So if you already have an existing Smart Notebook lesson, or do you have Microsoft PowerPoints, or if you have PDF documents that you would like to use with Smart Learning Suite Online, you certainly could do that. And then you can enhance that lesson with a YouTube video or maybe one of the game-based learning activities. You can add a formative assessment in the mix. And then of course you could add, maybe a quick shout it out or some of the other ready-made activities. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more in depth here in a second. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and go to my landing page. So again, this is suite.smarttech.com. And once I'm there, you can see that I'm already logged in as myself. So in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see that I'm in with my Google account already. But again, if you're a Microsoft user, you'd be in with your Microsoft account. And your home page is pretty self-explanatory. You're going to have a library of content. Might not be as beefy as mine instantly, but you will see there's where all my content lives. You also have the ability to click on the little plus symbol here, and that's where you're going to add the content or activities. But before I do that, I want to show you on the right-hand side here that you have the opportunity to click on training, and that will take you to an online website that will walk you through just about everything that we're going to cover in these videos. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I would definitely bookmark this page so you can come back to it later. Okay, so what we're going to do, if I click on the little plus symbol, I'm actually going to import a PDF document, and I've actually already done that just to save on time for the video, so I will use that here in a second. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to enhance the content with a YouTube video, and then I'm going to add one of these game-based learning activities. So I'll probably do either a super sword or a match 'em up, but what I wanted to show you real quick, if you're not sure what any of these do, if you click on any of these little previews, magnifying glasses here, you can see what the preview is of that particular activity. So there's the fill in the blanks, and then here's flip out. And so you can just kind of see the idea behind each one, and then there's label reveal and so forth, okay? All right, so let's go back. Now I've already uploaded a PDF document here. So what I'm going to do is I want to edit this. So if I hover over a file that I've already uploaded, I can either start it for the class or I can go into editing mode. You have a couple other options here with the 3 dots. If I click on the 3 dots, again, you have another editing option here, but really more importantly, you have a share link option. You can make copies of the lesson if you need to. And this is really important if you are teaching multiple classes of the same content. So if you're high school, even some middle school teachers might take advantage of that. But we'll come back to the share link option here shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and, sorry, I was trigger happy there. I'm going to go in and edit the lesson. So this will take me to an editing screen here. And this is where, first I'll add a couple things here. I can always click on my title and adjust this title. So I'm going to call this Natural Resources. Okay, so that auto saves. It's very similar to a Google Doc there. And then the upper or the top here, you have the ability to, you have your mouse or your select tool. You have your capital A, which is your text tool. So if you click on that and then click on the page, it will create a text box. And then you also have your image search. So you can upload an image if you like. You can add web links, or you could also search online. So I just wanted to point that out. If you ever needed to enhance any of the content, those are the things that you have access to. Of course, you could always delete a page. So if I go to like page 2, and I don't necessarily need this page for the students, I can go and delete that page in the upper right-hand corner. And of course, you have undo in the upper right-hand corner there. Okay, so let's get into the content. So on page 2 here, we're talking about the definition of natural resources and how that would impact the start of civilization. So that's a good start. So I think I'm good with that being read only. Before I get though to page 3, what I'm looking to do is click on the plus symbol, and I want to go to YouTube. So this is where it'll take me back to my Smart Learning Suite Online menu that allows for me to add any one of these items between my pages. But keep in mind, there's only certain content that would make sense if you're going to do this with student-paced mode in mind, or asynchronous learning, okay? There's certain things that the teacher actually has to hit start for the teacher, or I'm sorry, for the students to do. And like, for example, an assessment. The teacher actually has to control the pacing of the assessment. So you definitely wouldn't want to include a response assessment in this particular example today, because you would have to hit start for the students in order to access that. But there are lots of things that the students can get at their own pace, including YouTube content. So I'm going to click on YouTube content, and I'm going to do a search for natural resources. And the nice thing is, if you have something specific that you're looking for in YouTube, you can copy and paste the link in here. Keep in mind though, if your district's web filter is blocking this content, it will be blocked for the students if they're using the school's network, okay? Just keep that in mind. So I kind of know what we are looking for. So I'm gonna go into this Bozeman Science, and I'm just gonna click on this 5-minute video here and hit add. Now, keep in mind, I could always delete or add new videos if I need to, but it does take up the full screen of that page, which will be nice for the students. Okay, so now that they've watched the video, I'm gonna have them complete a task. So on page 4, my intent is, here I have a teacher page note here. My intent is I want the students to identify the natural resources that they see. So I think what I'm going to do with that is add some directions. So I'm going to click on my text tool, and I'm going to say, find and circle all of the natural resources that, that you find in this, let's see in this image. Okay, now that's a little dark, so I'm going to highlight this, oops, and change that to white. And I'm going to enlarge it just a bit. Okay. And then I'm going to change this to a individual handout activity. Okay. And then what that means is, and I'm going to delete this page because those are for teacher notes. And what that means is the students they're going to get a toolbar on their side of their page. So they would be able to get an inking tool in order to complete that task. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a game-based learning activity, and I'm going to do a match them up. And in this case, I'm going to do resources on this side and product of resources over here. So for example, sand, that's a natural resource. What can we make out of sand? So it's going to be matched up with cement, or iron is going to be matched up with tools, and trees. Those are going to be matched up with maybe like a table. Okay. So I'm going to have my answers checked instantly. I'm going to hit next, and then I have to decide a theme here. So let's just keep the superheroes theme. I kind of like that one. And then maybe page 6. We've got a discussion question here. Let's go ahead, actually, let's go ahead and convert that to a individual handout activity. And then I'm going to come back to this in part 2 on page number 7. Okay, so I think I'm done editing. And now what I need to happen, I'm going to start the lesson for my class. And so now I need to get students this link to the lesson. So what I'd be able to do is I could go back to the home screen, and I could get, remember how I said I'd revisit the share link option? I can get a student access link here, and I can copy that and send it to them in email, or if you use something like Canvas or Schoology or Edmodo, you could do that. The other way to do it is to go to the outline here of my people, and I would be able to pop that open, and then this allows for how my students can join. So, but again, if you send them the link, they would be able to click on that link, and they will be able to join via that link. And all they have to do is sign in with their Microsoft or Google credentials. Okay, but for me as the student of this class, just to show you for demo purposes, I'm going to go ahead and sign in to hellosmart.com. And I'm going to join as a guest, 41817. And there we go. And now I'm going to be able to see the lesson. Okay, so let's look here. You can see here's the student point of view, and then here's the teacher point of view. So I'm going to put this in student paste mode. And so now what that means is, as the student, I can go to any page in this lesson. So I'm going to go down to page 2. I'll go to page 3. I can play my video if I wanted to. Okay, well, I won't play that too long. I'll go to page 4, and all I have to do is hit start. And I will be able to access those tools. Remember the tools on the side of my toolbar. So now as a student, I can say, okay, here's water. Here is, you know, I don't really see a whole lot of natural resources, but maybe I see, you know, the sky, you know, sunlight. I might be able to point that out in here, which is really nice. Okay, but I'm going to go to page 4 now. Oh, let's go back to page 4. Sorry. In the upper right-hand corner, if I've completed that task, I could click on done. And so what that does for the teacher, it shows me, like if I go to that same page, I look at student progress, and I can see that Kim is done with that task. And so as a teacher, I can go back to this at any time in the lesson and see that. So I don't have to be, like I said, in the lesson at the same time as my students, okay? And then here's page 5, here's the activity, the match them up activity. So if I go to trees, match it up with table, go to sand, match it up with cement. So you notice I'm getting that instant feedback. Okay, and then I can replay the game if I want to. So it allows for the student to review the content at their own pace. And then finally, my last activity to do is page 6. All I have to do is hit start. And that allows for me to have that toolbar again on the left-hand side. And I have a discussion question. So I might want to answer that here with my text tool. So I'm going to use my text tool to answer. Okay, and then I can click on done in the upper right-hand corner. Again, that tells the teacher that I've completed that task. So in a nutshell, I know that was kind of a quick overview, but in a nutshell, that is what our Smart Learning Suite Online looks like, okay? One last thing I will mention is we do have resources through the Smart Exchange, and I do have a video on that, so please feel free in the YouTube channel to find that and watch where you can find ready-made lessons for your students in various forms. So we've got Smart Learning Suite Online, and then we also have lessons intended for the desktop version too. Okay, thank you so much for watching my video, and please watch part 2 to learn more about using Smart Learning Suite Online for synchronous learning.